911, what's the address of your emergency? 911. Hello, 911.
Hey, man, I got emergency, man, like real quick.
Okay, sir, what's going on?
My daughter was locked in the car.
What is your name?
My name's Larry King.
Hello?
Sir, I know this.
Sir, what is going on there? I can't understand what you're saying.
Look, my girlfriend, she put her daughter in the car, man. She went to get in, the damn door was locked out.
Okay, sir, is she stuck in the vehicle still?
Look, man, we got out. She's gone, man.
You believe that she's beyond help?
I know, man. She's not breathing, man.
Ready to turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for the charge of homicide.
Oh my God, no! Oh my God! Oh my God! I was just in the bad dream. Oh my God! No, it's not a bad dream. I know.
Wake up! The dream's over. It's a nightmare.
We will never know exactly when the nightmare began for 13-year-old Christina Pangalangan, but it came to an agonizing conclusion on August 5th, 2019, when she was tossed into a car by her mother's boyfriend, Larry Eugene King, unable to move or even scream for help. How her mother went from being a two-time award-winning teacher to spending quality time with her lover while Christina succumbed to extreme heat stroke remains to be seen. Hauntingly, police would have to uncover if this was an accidental tragedy or intentional and malicious. In a series of exclusive interviews, Iwu obtained new information about this shocking case, including a never-before-heard conversation with the perpetrator. Christina was diagnosed with cerebral palsy and epilepsy at an early age. This resulted in developmental delays, limited mobility, and other challenges. She didn't speak, however, one of her mother's former roommates said she communicated effectively with expressions and gestures.
It's about Camp Urchin. Bye there. We had a great time this year.
Christina could sometimes stand or walk a little bit, but mainly got around by crawling, scooting across the floor, or using a wheelchair. Still, she relied heavily on her single mother and main caregiver, Rita, to meet her needs.
Look, my little sister's standing up on her own feet. I'm so proud of you.
According to Christina's older sisters, she was always cared for. But somewhere along the line, something went wrong. When the police arrived at Larry King's house in Colleton County, South Carolina on August 5, 2019, the Volkswagen Jetta where Christina perished was parked in the front yard. It belonged to Christina's mother, Rita Pangalangan, who had been in an on-and-off relationship with Larry for the past 4 years. The pair had only recently reconciled after some time apart. Tragically, Larry's belief that Christina was beyond help turned out to be true. There was nothing emergency medical personnel could do for Christina by the time they arrived. How long it took for her to succumb to the rising temperatures inside the car was yet to be determined. The security camera mounted on Larry's front porch proved to be instrumental in uncovering answers. It also revealed shocking and unthinkable twists in this chilling case. Police brought Rita and Larry to the police station to try and determine how something so horrible could have happened to 13-year-old Christina. While Larry settled in quietly, Rita had a far different response.
You can't have a seat right here in this chair for me, okay?
Yes, sir.
If at any point you need anything, just let me know. You can say it. We're listening, okay? So if you need the restroom, you need something to drink, whatever. I don't have any of those. I'm talking about things that make you need to live.
The police would probably soon regret listening because Rita was about to launch into one of the most taxing emotional outbursts ever seen.
Oh my God, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Everybody hates me. Everybody hates me. God hates me. God. I'm sorry, God. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. That will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let's go.
Larry also appeared to be cold, but he found a much quieter way of dealing with the discomfort. As the interrogation rooms were separated only by a thin wall, Larry was privy to all of Rita's theatrics.
No. I understand you're upset, but don't hang on the wall like that. I'm sorry. My baby.
All this drama occurred before the police even tried to talk with Rita. She, however, had been pretty intent on trying to talk to them.
Hello? You know what it's going to be.
Hello, hello.
I don't want to be on. I want to hold my baby. I want to hold my baby.
I know. We're going to sit down and talk about it in just a few minutes, okay?
Somebody come talk to me. Somebody come talk to me. Please come talk to me. I want my baby girl. I want my baby girl.
Yet when Rita was wailing and waiting for the investigators to come talk to her, it became clear that she was aware of the police observing her.
No, Christina, no, baby.
Rita's obvious awareness of the camera raises the question of how authentic her distress was. Police likely hoped that understanding what had taken place earlier that afternoon could provide some insight. Just over 5 hours after she arrived at the police station, police came in to talk to Rita and made her aware of her Miranda rights. Once that was taken care of, the conversation about how Christina met such a horrific fate finally began.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol or narcotics today?
No. Are you arrested?
I haven't said anything about you being arrested, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
There's no secret as to why we're here.
I know.
You understand why we're here?
Yes, sir. Oh, my God.
Why don't you explain to me the details leading up to why we're here today?
Rita didn't know it, but the police hadn't just been waiting out her emotional frenzy for the past 5 hours. They'd been talking to Larry and reviewing the security footage recorded at his house. This means they know Rita already lied just moments into the interview. Even faced with Rita's initial resistance, the interrogators couldn't have anticipated the heartbreaking revelations to come.
Larry put my daughter in the backseat of the car.
Well, back up.
What?
Back on up. Start from, you picked her up from the babysitters. When did you pick her up from babysitters?
Last night.
Okay.
Oh, no. The babysitter didn't have, the babysitter had her, what's today, Monday?
Today's Monday, yes.
No, I'm sorry, today's
Okay.
Monday. I had a babysitter spend the night at my house Saturday night. Saturday night. I got her Sunday. We went to Larry's last night, spent the night, packed us a little overnight bag and stuff like that. And we were coming home today. And I was going to, I cranked up the car. I cut on the air conditioner. I opened the back door, but Larry put her in.
The surveillance footage starts at 10:59 a.m., so while there doesn't appear to be any possible way for Rita to start the car when they put Christina in, it's unknown if she started the car before that, and we may never be able to confirm this.
He closed the door.
Which side did you put her in?
Driver's side back.
Driver's side back. Okay. Did you buckle her in?
Yes, sir.
He did buckle her in.
Yes, sir.
This comment about the seatbelt is relevant because it could suggest whether Rita was indeed intending to leave Larry's house when Christina was put in the vehicle. Securing her with the seatbelt would have been a clear indication that Rita was departing imminently. However, this would come back to haunt Rita and Larry sooner rather than later.
What's her medical diagnosis?
She has developmental delays and epilepsy.
So when was her last seizure?
Over 5 years ago, she has done so good. She hasn't had a seizure in over 5 years.
So she's got developmental delays and epilepsy. That's it?
Yes, sir. That's all she's been diagnosed as. What happened was she lost oxygen to her brain before she was born, so her brain don't communicate well with her body.
Once again, Rita left something out, specifically Christina's cerebral palsy diagnosis. For now, police allow her to continue her version of the story.
Okay. So you packed everything up.
I mean, I plugged my cell phone up in the charger, you know, cranked up the car, put my cell phone in the charger and everything. And had the back door open and closed the back door.
Okay.
Rita would later argue that this tidbit about her phone was proof that the car was running. She said it was dead that morning, but charged when she and Larry opened the car, proving that she had turned it on. This debate will be significant later.
I went in the house to get my cigarette pouch. And when I come out, all 4 doors locked. I was accidentally, it's never happened before. 4 doors locked. Didn't think it was a big deal at first.
While a lot of what Rita said is true, it left out huge chunks of what was captured by the CCTV. Why she thought she could lie when all her actions were captured on camera is unclear.
Larry got little wedgy things and it blows air and he's trying to get open. And it wouldn't open. I have spare set of keys in my house and the air conditioner was on. The air conditioner was on, so I didn't think it was. And she was asleep and Larry went to go get the keys and he brought her back. And when he went to unlock the door, daggum, Mom was dead.
Tearfully, Rita went on to explain that the key fob Larry retrieved from her house had a dead battery. By the time he got into the car with a manual key, it was far too late. However, this isn't the full story, and the truth of what really happened is far more shocking.
I would have busted that window out if I knew she was in her truck, and I don't know why. But I guess it was on. And when I picked her up, she had vomit. She had a seizure, and I was burn on her legs. Oh, God.
Police found more vomit in the back seat of the car, which is a sign of heat stroke. The condition of Christina's body also indicated she'd suffered from severe heat trauma. But if what Rita said was accurate, Christina's excruciating fate shouldn't have been possible. There was no way such a serious case of heat stroke could have occurred under the circumstances Rita laid out. Additionally, if Rita's theory about the seizure was true, police had to question why she told them that Christina hadn't had a seizure in 5 years.
The air conditioner was on.
Okay.
The front part of the car was cool, but the back part was.
The back part wasn't.
And she just looked like she was sleeping.
But Christina wasn't sleeping, and Rita's story just didn't add up.
Okay, so let's back it up. Back it up real quick. How'd you sleep last night?
Yeah,
How'd you sleep?
fine.
Did you sleep fine? You went to bed at 11. Did you go to sleep?
Yes, sir.
You did.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
As is common in interrogations, this answer was already known. Nevertheless, the officer allowed Rita to continue to lay the groundwork for a fabricated story that would later be dismantled.
How about Larry?
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you got up this morning. She was fine. Got her up.
Got her dressed.
What time were y'all?
Changed her diaper. Gave her a cup of Pediasure. Same one routines.
This line of questioning ties back to something Rita conveniently forgot to mention. Larry, however, had no such qualms.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs at this time?
I used sometime yesterday.
What was it?
Meth.
Okay, do you feel like you're under the influence right at this moment?
Just for a while. I'm tired. I've been up like 48 hours.
Before the interrogations began, both Larry and Rita consented to a blood test. The results would reveal exactly what was in their systems.
Okay, Rita, listen to me. If this conversation is going to go, then you're going to have to tell me the truth.
I'm telling you.
I've already talked to Larry. I already know details. Listen to me. I already know details, and if you're going to start lying to me, this ain't going to work. How long were you in that house?
5, 10 minutes. I don't know, sir. I don't know. I poured some Kool-Aid, did some Kool-Aid.
Okay, stop.
I don't know.
Okay. When was the last time you used narcotics?
Narcotics.
Yes.
Note the rapid change in her speech, from hyperventilating and whispering to talking easily in an instant. This makes it clear that her hyperventilation is likely faked, or at the least exaggerated.
I took an Adderall yesterday morning.
No. When was the last time you used methamphetamine?
No, I don't use methamphetamine. I've never
Okay,
used
note that we just drew labs, and when those labs are tested, methamphetamine is going to come back in your system.
They shouldn't.
Well, I know it shouldn't.
As was becoming the norm, Larry said otherwise.
Did Rita use with you yesterday?
She does a little. She put a little bit in her drink.
She used today. It's going to come up in blood work.
Yeah. We took blood work. I told him, no, I don't know. She didn't use today.
She used yesterday?
Yes, sir.
How much? About
like a line or something.
A line?
Yeah.
Snorted, or she put
it in a drink.
Where was Christina when you guys were indulging?
She was in sleep on the couch.
When asked, Larry swore that Christina had never been exposed to the drug. Yet in an exclusive interview, Rita's daughter said that their mother was extremely anti-drug.
She hates drugs. I can't, stress enough how much she hates them. She actually, something that no one knows is she called DSS on me many years ago for smoking weed, just for smoking pot a long time ago. That's how much my mom hated drugs.
So you didn't use last night? That's what I thought. No answer is a yes answer. And you put it in your coffee last night.
I didn't know that's what it was. I wasn't sure what it was. I thought it...
Don't BS me. I'm not in the mood.
I wasn't sure what it was.
You're not sure what it was. You have a master's degree. You're an intelligent person. You're more intelligent than you're playing right now.
That's right. Not only did Rita hold a master's degree, but she worked as a teacher in the Colleton County School District for 25 years. During that time, she was recognized as Teacher of the Year twice.
She worked her face off to provide for our family.
She still went above and beyond for all of us, all three of us. That's why I was so shocked, on the phone call that I got that day.
Ashley shared some of her fondest memories of Christina.
I remember, we'd go to Shoney's on her birthday every year, and she'd be sung, they would sing to her, and she'd clap her hands and get the little fudge cakes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Christina. Happy birthday to you.
Christina's other sister, Elizabeth, also shared some of her memories.
One of my favorite videos is we went to a birthday party and there was a horse. And so she got to ride a horse for the first time. So I'm just holding her and she's just laughing the whole time. Her laugh was contagious.
Aww, good job. There you go. We do not want to try. No.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, we do. Bounce you around like a sack of taters. Here, look, we're riding a horse.
She was so loved by everyone.
Meanwhile, police finally managed to get some truth out of Rita.
I do know what it is, but I tried it. But it wasn't much. So we could stay awake a while, because we don't never really get to see each other that much.
Well, I thought you went to sleep. You told me you went to sleep at 11 o'clock.
While this was shocking, it was only the first secret police would uncover.
Your daughter is so dependent on you.
I know that. I wasn't sure what was in it. I lied to you.
You're about to see the ugly side of me.
I know. Please, her.
Right at this point, just know this. I do not care what happens to you at this point. All I'm worried about is there's a dead 12-year-old child.
No, I know.
What do you mean, no?
I know. I'm so
Now, I want listen to me. I want straight answers right now. Okay? I know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I know that you and Larry had a little disagreement over you having an affair. Correct?
Okay, yeah, we had an argument.
I heard that she was messing with a black guy, whatever. And I asked her, and she told me it's true. And I talked to her. I just y'all going home, and I called you later, you know.
This was yesterday or
It was today.
this morning? Today?
Yes.
Larry again had a different version of how the discussion about Rita's alleged cheating went.
What was the conversation in reference to your affair or your side piece, whatever?
The non-affair that never happened.
Well, I'm just telling you what you're telling me, so that's what you're getting at.
Well, what was the question? I'm sorry. We were not, when we weren't even arguing, we were like, we're going to take a break. I'll call you later.
So were you guys going back and forth having this conversation, or was this like, he said something, you said something, and it was over?
Pretty much, yeah.
So there's no going back and forth?
No.
No crying, no forgive me, no take me back?
Well, there was a little bit of crying, but it wasn't like a big, long, drawn-out thing.
And where was Christina when all this was happening?
In the car. Oh my God, in the car.
So I wasn't thinking about much, nothing else. Rita stayed in there crying, and dog was crying, and, you know, begging. I mean, not doing it wrong, just trying to make up or whatever.
Despite Rita's attempts to explain, it was evident that Larry remained indifferent. What began as a seemingly final exchange stretched into a heated debate, escalating along with the rising temperature on that horrific summer day.
And she just wouldn't.
So then she came back in the house. How many times did she come back in the house?
Couple times, man, I walked out like 3 times.
Well, I mean, you know,
I just wish she would have home now.
In conversation with Iwu, Rita touched on this subject.
What we were arguing about that day was me trying to convince him that I hadn't cheated on him. And that costed my daughter her life.
The CCTV would show exactly how many times Rita and Larry went in and out of the house, and the footage wouldn't make either of them look good. But the story still got worse.
How long were you in the house?
No more than 2 or 3 minutes. I don't.
How long would you estimate when she was in that car?
I know at least 2 hours or so, man.
According to the CCTV, both answers were wrong. Following their argument, Rita and Larry stepped inside and didn't emerge for 2 hours. By this time, Christina had already been inside the car for 2.5 hours. As the detective continues to backtrack how the events unfolded that morning, he asks more pressing questions.
I know he asked you to leave, correct? And he would call you later today.
Yeah, and I was leaving.
Let me finish. I know that he put her in the car. You turned the car on. I don't know whether you turned the air conditioner on, but you say you did. I'll give you that.
I did turn the air conditioner.
You saw her put the air conditioner on? You didn't. So you're assuming everything after you turned around to walk away. Or do you know for a fact that she did? Okay, I'm just saying. What I'm asking you is, did you physically see her start the car and turn the air conditioner on?
I heard her start the car, put her down, walked back up on the porch, all that said. She said she started the car, put air on, and I believe she did. She loves her daughter, man.
I'm not saying she don't.
Yeah.
However, Larry didn't know about a curious detail that his CCTV had caught. Rita had stepped out of the house and settled into the driver's seat of her car. She retrieved an item, likely the keys, from the porch, unlocked both the driver's side and Christina's side doors, glanced back at Christina, double-checked through the window, and then proceeded to walk off. Unsettlingly, it was at this precise moment that she inadvertently left the keys in the car. As awful as everything was so far, the police knew Rita and Larry were holding back parts of the story that proved just how heinous Christina's demise really was.
Is Christina verbal? She's not verbal?
How's she communicate?
Just like her with her cup.
Just with her cup? What do you mean?
She'll bring a cup tell you for dreams. She gets around fast, like on her knees. She loves cartoons. She's real easy.
But is she doesn't talk to you, or she doesn't make noises?
She's good. Yeah, she's incoherent. And she knows what's going on, but she can't talk.
So she's not capable of screaming for help?
No, ma'am.
Those who knew Christina said that she was adept at nonverbal communication. But if no one had been around to see those gestures, however, Christina would have been unable to advocate for herself. It's also important to note that Christina's disability didn't mean she didn't have sensation in her limbs. She likely would have been able to feel and understand exactly what was happening to her, but was powerless to stop it.
Did it occur to you at any time to pick up a rock and break the window?
Oh, I thought.
Seriously. I mean, seriously, think about it.
I had. She was asleep. Rita said she was asleep.
Still, I mean, you got a child locked in a car, especially a child like that, who cannot fend for herself. She couldn't open that car door. She tried.
Right.
It's right now. It's pretty serious. It's about as serious as it gets.
Holy.
All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to let you know, not that. I mean, the autopsy is going to tell a lot.
Yes.
Okay. It's going to tell me a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
So you saying that you asked Rita to break the window?
I asked. I said, baby, you want me to bust out the sunroof? You can see where I put my hand up there, whatever, in the footage. You know, and I tried. But she said no. No. She said no. It'd be cheaper just to go. But me, not fucking.
Some common sense now.
Yeah.
Larry might have been able to laugh now, but any lightheartedness would soon become impossible when confronted with the gravity of his choices.
You get the car open, and what you find is a 12-year-old that's deceased. At that time, Rita takes her out of the car, lays her on the ground where she was. You called 911. And from there, everybody's coming. I'm sure it seemed like an eternity.
It's just starting to... You know, I've been up here and out of it now.
Making the decision not to break the window even more confusing was the fact that although money was tight for the single mother of a disabled child, according to Ashley, Rita had never shied away from providing for Christina.
Mom accommodated her in so many ways growing up. She worked 3 jobs as a tutor, and she cleaned houses, and she was a teacher just to help pay off a handicapped bathroom that she had got for Christina, because Mom she wanted to make sure that we had the best.
At the police station, the investigator speaking with Larry stepped out and went to talk to Rita.
Give me a minute, okay?
We gotta go talk to her.
However, they were called away to review some evidence in the midst of their conversation with her. Temporarily left to her own devices again, Rita resumed talking to herself.
She's not breathing, Larry. I love that little girl. So I take care of her. You was so big and I couldn't pick her up no more.
It also became obvious that Rita didn't have a lot of confidence in what Larry was telling the police.
You threw me under the bus, Larry. You threw me under the bus. You threw me under the bus. Oh my God, you threw me under the bus. I can't believe you let me take a fall for this all by myself.
Rita was wrong about that, however. If she was going to take the fall, it wouldn't be alone. After an hour and a half, a different investigator sat down with Larry. It was finally time to confront him with the real version of events, provided by the security camera. What it showed was outrageous.
Okay, we've just sat and watched the DVR. So having said that, anything that you have previously told Detective Marcarella and the SLED agent, do you want to change any of that? You don't want to change anything?
The police weren't convinced, though.
You was pretty pissed this morning.
Yeah, it hurt me, man.
You know why I know you was pretty pissed this morning? Because your camera just told me that. You know what I saw on that camera this morning?
What?
Who put the baby in the car?
Me.
How'd you put her in the car?
I don't know. I held her like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You held her like that. Can you account for your actions?
Yes, ma'am, I have to.
You have to, that's right. Yes, you do. I want you to think for a minute how you put that baby in that car. I want you to think about that for a minute. When y'all were arguing and fighting, she been running around on you, she been shacking up with somebody else, you're pissed. Tell me how you put that baby in that car.
I mean, I swear to God, I don't remember everything, but I was aggravated.
Yes, you were, and it shows.
What did I do?
You threw her in that car, basically upside down. And it looks like she probably didn't go in all the way, because both of you have to bend back over, like you got to grab her to get her in the car the rest of the way, and then you close the door.
Because I would never hurt, especially in this situation.
You threw her in the car upside down.
I didn't mean to.
But you did.
Without.
You threw her in that car upside down because you were angry at Rita.
I hate that. Oh, I swear to God, I can't believe it.
Was Christina in the way
Christina in the way, what you mean?
of your relationship?
No, she was simple. I mean, easy to take care of you. She Rita put cartoons on for her, and they'd give her a cup and shut her door, and she was fine. She was fine.
So she didn't limit Rita from doing stuff with you?
No, hell no.
If she needed to run to the store and pick something up, how often would that happen, that she would just leave her at the house?
By herself. I've never known her to do that.
How often do you leave her home alone?
Never. She always has a sitter. Always.
Let me finish my question. How about that?
Okay.
How often do you leave her at home in her room alone?
In her room?
Yeah.
She's in her room, but the door stays open, but I'm always there.
This was a point of contention with Rita's former roommate, Brittany Honeycutt. As soon as she heard what had happened to Christina, she rushed to the police station to give a statement about some concerning behavior she'd witnessed while living in Rita's house. She also spoke with Iwu in an exclusive interview.
Towards the end, she literally left Christina in the room, and I had no idea Christina was even in bed. And I woke up the next morning to Christina trying to get out of her room, and she couldn't.
It got worse than that, though.
And Christina had a fall, and she had a bloody nose. And I called Rita, and I was like, hey, you have to come get her because she's bleeding and she's freaking out. And Rita was like, oh, she'll be fine. Just clean her up. And she refused to come. It took us an hour for her to even get to the house.
Meanwhile, the police pushed Larry harder.
She knows that the baby's in the car.
I forgot all about it. I mean, I was honest to God.
You forgot about her.
Yeah,
But she knew that she was in there. She told us that.
you know, me up 2 days, me upset, I'm hurt.
So then you go back into the house and you and him sit in there for 2 hours.
Oh, no, it was not 2 hours. No, sir. No, sir.
Despite Rita's attempts to deny it, the reality persisted. They'd been indoors for 2 hours, leaving Christina on her own.
Why didn't she ever feed her? That child can eat. You just got to put a little effort into it. Would you be surprised or shocked if I told you there wasn't any food in that house? None? Besides Kool-Aid and Ensure?
Yeah, but she don't cook. She usually buys out every night, every day.
But food for her, not for Christina. She just gives her a sippy cup to suck on.
Right, and that can help everybody by being sure. I've asked Rita why she don't feed her. Said that she would get too heavy for her, whatever.
She's out of her hair now. She don't have to worry about her anymore.
Police may have gotten this idea when some of Rita's previous mutterings took a disturbing turn.
She was getting too big anyway. God was looking over me.
Police had to wonder if this could be a motive. If Christina had grown to such a point that it was difficult for Rita to manage her, they had to consider the possibility that she'd chosen to solve the problem in the most detestable way possible. Elizabeth strongly disagreed with the theory that Christina's death could have been malicious.
The actions ended in a very awful, tragic situation in my life. I will not defend those actions. I grieve the actions. I wish they were different. I wish they would have done a better job digging into the reasoning and what happened, because my mom had no intent to harm Christina. She loved her so much.
There was a lot more work to be done before the police could say for sure what Rita's motivation was. According to Brittany, this was not the only time Christina had been left while Rita busied herself elsewhere.
When she started yelling at Christina and saying she needed a break, and she would go lock herself in the bedroom, and Christina would be banging on her door, trying to get her attention, and Christina was crying. It wasn't just she was making noises. There were tears coming out of her eyes. I would walk out and she's in literal tears banging on the door for her mom. And her mom was too busy doing whatever she wanted to do, locked up in her bedroom.
A bit of research provided investigators with another unwelcome surprise. Before Christina died, the Department of Social Services, or DSS, had received 5 complaints against Rita. The last complaint was lodged by Christina's school only 5 months before her death. She'd been dropped off at school with untreated burns on her face, neck, and chest. The school asked Rita to have the burns treated, but when no action was apparent, the school once again contacted DSS. This story didn't seem to surprise Brittany.
And she said, do not answer the door if anybody knocks on the door, rings the doorbell. She's like, do not answer the door for anybody. So when she said that, we were like, what? She goes, yeah, somebody called DSS on me, and I think that they're going to come and talk to me. And she goes, you're not allowed to talk to them.
As police knew, things only got worse for Christina after that.
At some point in the video, it seems like y'all sort of calm down and relax. Okay, y'all are start hugging each other. Y'all are standing close to each other. Seems like you've relaxed a little bit. So the things calmed down a little bit. Y'all went inside and had. How long did y'all have sex?
I wish I'd have. Maybe I don't know.
While Rita and Larry may claim not to know how much time had passed, the CCTV was counting every minute. They were gone this time for a little under an hour, and Christina had been suffering inside the heated car for over 3 hours.
Then you come outside, and listen to me, then you come outside and you find out your car is locked, and you can't get in. Now, at this time, your daughter is laying in there, totally dependent on you. She can't open a car door like a normal 12-year-old or 13-year-old, okay? She relies on mom.
Do you remember touching the hood of the car to feel how hot it was?
I don't.
You did. When y'all looked in the car, before you ever left to come to town to get the key, when y'all looked in the car, what did you see?
I couldn't even see the child in there. The windows is dark, plus me, up out of it, whatever. Did I look in there?
Y'all looked in there.
I remember looking to see in the front windshield it locked.
While Larry may not have been able to see Christina, Rita had been caught by CCTV suspiciously looking into the car's window several times. One wonders what she saw and how she can now claim that she forgot Christina was in there. After a few minutes, Rita and Larry brought some tools to the porch. While Larry leisurely prepared to break into the car, Rita established that the doors had not unlocked by themselves. Larry tried to pry several windows open, but with no results. This didn't appear to worry the couple. What they decided to do next was even less productive.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Y'all realize she's in the car. You mess around with the car for a few minutes to try and get in there. You can't get in there. Y'all come back up on the porch. At that point, y'all go over and y'all sit on the swing. And y'all sit there and swing for like 30 minutes.
Rita said she had her in the air condition. But at that point...
Do you remember the car running at that point?
I think I remember it running, yeah. I know it was running.
While the officer said Rita and Larry relaxed on the porch swing for 30 minutes, it was closer to 15. Not that that was any better, because by that point, Christina was trapped in the car for over 4 hours. She'd likely already succumbed to the extreme heat and her mother's negligence by now. When Iwu asked Rita about the events of that dreadful afternoon, she had this to say.
something was wrong with the car. Something malfunctioned in that car. Because not only did the air conditioning stop running, but it locked with the key fob inside of there, something it's not supposed to do. And whenever I opened that car door, when we finally opened, the car was so hot. The car was still running, but it was blowing hot air, like the heater was on. It felt like it was 1,000 degrees.
The officer interrogating Rita clearly had some strong feelings about the situation, malfunction or not.
Regardless of the air conditioner, what would happen if the car caught fire? She could not defend herself.
I thought you were asleep.
What would have happened if she had a seizure? Oh!
I know. I believe it. I don't even.
Okay.
I don't.
So then, both of you, two supposedly responsible adults, climbing their butts up in the truck and leave. And where was your little 13-year-old daughter? In the backseat of a locked car.
Larry and Rita hadn't rushed to the other car to rescue Christina. They rather chose to linger in Larry's outhouse, engrossed in conversation. Despite the urgency of Christina's situation, the couple appeared almost indifferent to the child's plight on that sweltering afternoon. Moreover, they didn't rush into Larry's car right away either. Larry stumbled upon a problem with his vehicle that he deemed more pressing than rescuing a child. While Rita remained seated, engaging in conversation with Larry as he repaired the car's seat, they squandered an additional 20 minutes before finally pulling out of the backyard.
It's still an hour and a half before y'all even leave to go and get the key. Why would she just not bust the window? Why would she at that point, not you, her, somebody?
You know what, Angie, what's sad, honest to God. At that point, I was just, God forgive me, but being screwed up. I done forgot about the little girl, boy, and I was just thinking we trying to get in a car. I swear on my kids, that's what I said.
I hate to say it, but that is pretty tough.
I mean, I was up. I mean, I didn't even realize. I mean, if I did, I wouldn't have done that. I would never. Angel, oh my God, I would never be. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. And my God knows it.
On this matter, Rita and Larry finally agreed.
He loved her. That is one of the reasons why I stayed with him as long as I did.
So let me explain this to you, okay? So you guys drive all the way to your house on Academy, then turn around and come all the way back. Now, how many hours has passed? If you were in the house for 2 hours or at least...
You were in that house.
I'm telling you what he's telling me, okay? At least 2 hours. How long does that trip take?
I don't know, 30 minutes. I should have buzzed to the window. I knew that. I know.
No. What did you tell me? It's cheaper for you to go get your key.
Because I thought the air conditioner was on. I thought she was...
I don't care if it was blowing Arctic air.
You're right. I know.
You left a helpless child.
I know.
By herself.
I know. Oh my God. I know.
Don't touch me. Do not put your hands on me.
Sorry.
You left a helpless child by herself in an automobile that was running. That supposedly the air conditioner was on. We haven't figured that part out yet.
It was on.
And then you drove all the way in here. Takes about 40.
I know.
Takes about 45 minutes. So that's 45 minutes one way. That's an hour and a half, 2 ways. So now we're up to about 3.5, 4 hours.
From there to my house, about 20 minutes.
Whatever.
It took them exactly 48 minutes and 15 seconds to make that round trip. Chillingly, Rita's former roommate Brittany said that this wasn't the first time Rita's thoughts about leaving Christina in cars had caused concern.
She told me that I could take Christina with me to work and leave her in my car while it was parked in the parking lot of my job with the windows down. And she said Christina would be fine as long as she had her cup. And when she said that to me, I said, what the is wrong with you? Because how dare you tell me that? And then you proceed to tell me you've done it a couple times. Unfortunately, a week later, literally 7 days later, when I found out how she passed, it was like, she really would do that. That's when everything just like, whoa, like, holy crap.
Rita insisted that she'd never asked Brittany to watch Christina, much less encouraged her to leave her in the car. However, her other statements seemed to be at odds with what she told police.
I mean, I've left her in the car before, but not for that amount of time. 2, 3 minutes. Yes, I've left her in the car.
Open every door.
If you opened that door, you saw what I had to see.
I know, oh my God, I know, sir, I know. I can't believe it happened.
You know something? You're doing an awful lot of whining and I ain't seen a tear once.
I'm crying.
You can't even conjure up a tear.
The officer's suspicion likely arises from Rita's inconsistent distress levels. For example, her apparent ability to switch her hyperventilation on and off seems to indicate that it's fake, as true hyperventilating doesn't work that way.
I have been crying, sir. You just don't know. My baby, I'm about to die over her.
I'll tell you something right now. I stood out there for all this time I've been out there. And I stood out there and I watched absolute total strangers cry over that child more than I've seen you.
No, sir. She was my heart and soul, and I was a good mother to her. I was a real good mother.
A good mother? Listen to me. Listen, a good mother, woman, does not use illegal narcotics while she's in the care of a child who's completely dependent on you. Correct? A good mother does not put her child in the car and leave her in the car for the period that child was in the car. One, why did you even put her in the car if you were going to go back? Why didn't you pick her up and bring her back into the house?
The final amount of time Christina was left in the car, which police would soon reveal to Rita and Larry, was absolutely appalling. A look at Rita's Facebook page unearthed this post, which reads, "One thing about me is when I don't care anymore, you're going to feel it." Could this have been exactly what happened to Christina? Police brought up this sinister question with Larry.
A lot of people love a lot of people, but sometimes when they get to that point, they need that break, and they're going to do what they need to do. She's as smart as she is and loves her child. Why would she not do what's right for that child? She has a master's degree. She's smart enough to figure that out.
Yeah, Rita's smart. She's like too far.
Like smart enough to get in a car that's locked?
I couldn't get in it. God, remember that. She's a con and manipulator. I know y'all seen that.
So was this her way out today? Let's put the blame on everybody else. She done got caught with another man. She's trying to make up with you. She doesn't need to be bothered with Christina at the moment. So here's the perfect opportunity to get rid of her, put the blame on somebody else, and now she's free reign.
I swear to God, I don't want to think that she would, and I pray to God that she would.
And now you likely to get locked up. She ain't got a youngin' to worry about anymore, and she's free to do whatever she wants to do.
What am I going to be locked up for?
I said you could.
Oh. Man,
How does that play out for you?
I'm not good at all. But I just wanted her to, even when before she come back, I wanted her to leave. And she's keeping my tears. And didn't give me a choice. I got off the police. I had told her to come back, y'all. But she was going to burn my house down.
So you were scared of her?
What? I ain't trying to make Rita feel it, but that's crazy.
While police might have initially found Larry's claim hard to believe, Brittany added some context to issues he may have been referencing.
She would always talk about these missions. And later on, I found out these missions were ways for her to sabotage Larry King's property.
Posts from Rita's Facebook mention these so-called missions, including this post reading, "One mission at a time, doesn't everyone love surprises?" She tagged Larry in another post that said, "Stop being the bigger person, slash their tires." Continuing with the timeline of events, the security footage showed that it took Rita and Larry almost an hour to return with a second set of keys. But that didn't mean it was time to try to rescue Christina yet, because shockingly, the couple sat in the truck for another 5 minutes. A new problem arose. Larry previously said the battery on the second fob turned out to be dead. They still couldn't get into the car. When their first efforts didn't pay off, the pair decided to get creative. As you can probably guess, shaking the car had no effect whatsoever.
Okay, now, you get back, you have to play with the lock to get it open, right? Okay, so you play with the lock, get it open.
And she was gone.
Yeah, she was gone.
She was gone, I know. I know. That's my baby. I was her sole caregiver for 13 years.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I made the worst mistake in my life.
Yep, you sure did.
Rita and Larry eventually got the car open using a manual key, which was hidden in the side of the key fob for emergencies just like this. Tragically, the key discovery came far too late. As Rita dragged Christina's body from the car, Larry placed his call to 911.
Hello, sir?
Yes, sir.
How long has it been since you got her out of the vehicle?
Probably 10 minutes. As soon as I got her out, man, I called you. 10 minutes, I don't know, man. Since the time I got her, I called you immediately, man.
Okay. And do you have her right there with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you think she's passed away?
Sir?
You think she passed away?
I know she is, man. I got out the car. She's gone. Okay. But we had AC going, both. We had AC going. We talked a little bit. Then we got in the car. She was in the floorboard, man. Whew. This is crazy. Oh, my God.
Oh, I messed up. I know.
You messed up and your child paid for it. That poor little girl is paid for it.
I know. I mean, now, I don't care what happens to me. I deserve whatever I do.
I'm glad you said that.
When y'all did get the door open, where was Christina? How was she positioned?
Went back, Rita started freaking out, and I went and looked at the door. I think she was maybe face down.
Was she in the seat? Was she in the floorboard? Was she partially in the seat, partially in the floorboard?
I know she was in the floorboard, I'm pretty sure.
There was no way Christina could have ended up on the floor of the car if she'd been buckled in like Rita claimed.
I was holding her. I was holding her out screaming, and they were calling 911. And I laid her down to open the revolver and something.
If you opened that door, you saw what I had to see.
I know. Oh my God, I know, sir. I know. I can't believe it. It happened.
In our interview, Rita stated,
If I didn't want to take care of her, I could have sent her away. I would have never hurt her, and especially in such an inhumane way.
It was intentional. Don't you think we would have unhooked the cameras? I'm smart enough that if I was going to plan something like that, I sure wouldn't have let it be videotaped.
The camera caught even more of the tragedy. Just minutes after discovering Christina deceased, Rita and Larry decided the most prudent thing to do was leave her body on the front lawn while they went back inside the house.
Do you realize that the dog goes over there and spends more time with that baby than her own mama does? More than you do?
I couldn't stand it.
And on the 911 call, when you're calling 911, you're telling them that that's your daughter, and the dog went over there, spent more time with that child laying on the ground dead?
I couldn't, Joe. I couldn't, Angela. It freaked me out.
Yeah. She sat in that car and cried.
So you left her in the car by herself, then you left her on the ground by herself.
I was scared, man. I couldn't.
At that point, it's too late to be scared.
I mean, when Rita opened that door, that's when I realized, and she falling, I said, oh, I swear to God, it just... And
what was the conversation before 911 was called once it was realized that she was dead? Were we trying to come up with a story? Were we trying to come up with a...
No. At first, we didn't really realize, but when I seen her, just the way she was sitting, I told Rita, she's gone, and Rita lost it. She's gone. No, ma'am, I'm honest, and I know come up with no story, because I would never hurt, especially an innocent child.
Rita's reaction to the discovery of her daughter's body was quite the opposite of how she reacted in the interrogation room. Soon after pulling a lifeless Christina from the car, Rita was seen picking up a cigarette from her car and leaving her child's lifeless body unattended as she ran after Larry, desperate for a comforting hug. In what looked like a blame game, Rita and Larry engage in another heated argument. Their frustration is palpable as Larry reels off information from the 911 call, while Rita paces around with a cigarette.
That was an accident. It was a horrible, horrible accident.
You know something? It has become miraculously aware to me in my 32 years in public safety that children get hurt or killed due to adult negligence. This isn't an accident. This is an act of stupidity.
Did you not hear crying? Did you not hear hollering?
I didn't hear
The sunroof was cracked?
I just wish to God I could change that.
Well, unfortunately, Larry, we can't.
Am I being charged?
I don't know yet. I mean, we've got a 12-year-old child that's dead. That laid there and suffered.
For 6 hours.
6 hours. To the point where she was in the car for so long. All right, give us a minute.
While police deliberated, one officer stopped by to check on Rita.
Resting real good? Huh? You resting well? It looks like you're on me.
Wow. Brittany offered more of her thoughts on the case.
Christina loved Rita, and that is probably the most upsetting part about it is she wanted that love in return, and she couldn't get it. I don't care what anybody says. Drugs or no drugs, she did not care about Christina. All 3 months led up to that, and you could slowly see it. She was trying to find anybody in her power to take Christina off of her hands instead of doing it the legal and right way.
The detectives talking to Rita and Larry swapped around one last time, and a new investigator briefly sat down with Rita.
Can I tell you the odor of this little girl? Can I tell you?
But it must have been for me in the car because I wash my child every hour.
I'm telling you, it's not telling you what you want to hear, but listen, I got a job to tell you and to let you know and to speak for this baby because she's not able to and never will again. Okay? Accidents happen. This is an accident that's not supposed to happen. This was no accident. If you want to sit there and dope and play games and you and Larry fight and you run around and this and that, turn your baby over to somebody that can take care of it. Don't let us have to come to the base dead in a car.
I've got medical problems.
You got big damn medical problems. You got something.
It didn't take long for the police to decide what the next step was.
Doesn't sound Larry. They can handle this, sir. Put your hands behind your back. Come here, arrest for homicide. Oh my God, man. Oh my God, no, please, man. Yes, you're under arrest for homicide of that 12-year-old child. Stand up. Stand up. Oh my God. Your actions and the actions of Rita led to the death of that child. Rita, turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for the charge of homicide.
Oh my God, no!
Your actions and the actions of Mr. King led to the death of your daughter. And it pains me to call her your daughter.
Oh my God, my poor baby. It was an accident, I swear to God. It was an accident.
Well, the accident...
6 hours of laying in the car.
It was not in there 6 hours.
Yeah, it was.
I just looked at the DVR and watched it.
It was a child. It was a 12-year-old innocent child.
It was 6 hours.
Oh my God,
6
no!
hours.
Oh my God, no!
You put her in the car at 11 o'clock, 11 a.m., and did not get her out of that car until 5.
Oh my God, no! My poor baby. Oh my God.
Somebody got to get her out. I can't. I can't do
Did
it.
you lock him down?
I did not double lock him.
Turn around, please.
Christina was left in the car for a total of 5 hours and 42 minutes. When her body was examined, medical professionals found burns on her legs, ruptured blisters all over her skin, and vomit in her lungs.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus, man. She's got burns. Oh Lord.
You said she's burned. How badly is she burned?
She's got her skin, man. I swear. Yeah, it's bad. I swear. Oh Lord.
You know what burned her?
I guess maybe, man. And the car, it's got hot, bro. Because, you know.
Okay, you said the vehicle was running whenever you put her in there?
Oh, yeah, man, it was running. With AC wide open.
She turned blue from lack of oxygen. When first responders attempted to take her temperature, the thermometer maxed out at 109.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Her actual temperature could have been much higher. Hyperthermia, or extreme fever, was determined to be her cause of death. Horrifically, Larry was right when he spoke with 911, and rigor mortis had already begun to set in when Christina's body was removed from the vehicle. This process begins approximately 2 hours after death, meaning that Christina likely perished before Rita and Larry even left to go get the second set of keys. Eerily, it wasn't as if Rita hadn't looked through the window and seen her daughter. She'd checked on 5 separate occasions, but one may never be able to ascertain her intentions behind those checks.
Oh my God, that was just a bad dream. Oh my God.
No, it's not a bad dream.
Wake up. The dream's over. It's a nightmare.
Shortly after being arrested, Rita and Larry broke up for good. The results from the blood test confirmed that methamphetamine was in both of their systems. There was a significant delay in court proceedings due to COVID-19, so a verdict wasn't reached until late 2023. While out on bail during this time, Rita remarried to a man named Tony in November of 2022. In an exclusive interview with Ewu, Tony admitted that he was not aware of the case when he and Rita started dating.
My opinion of her did not change because I know what type of person she is. She is a really good person.
Rita's daughters also continued to stand by her side.
My mom on August 5th was not the Rita, like we know. And drugs do that to people, whether you take them by choice or by not. That is the reality and the consequences of drugs.
She's not the person that the media, has stressed or made her out to be. They witnessed a couple of days of her life that ended in a horrific, tragedy that we'll never forget. But that's not her.
At the end of the day, I was like, it doesn't matter what anyone tells me because I don't have my little sister anymore. I don't care about the facts.
Elizabeth was the one who later planned Christina's funeral. It was Dora the Explorer themed, since that was one of Christina's favorite things.
We even played what Going on the Adventure song at the funeral.
In September 2023, Rita and Larry were convicted of murder and inflicting great bodily harm to a child. Rita had this to say about her sentencing.
Prison can't even be as hard on me as I have been on myself the last 4 years. It shouldn't have happened, but it was an accident. And if they would have charged me with negligent homicide, involuntary manslaughter, I would have taken a plea deal because it shouldn't have happened.
They would not offer me negligent homicide. They wanted to make an example of me, I guess. And they have. I should have made better decisions.
Rita was sentenced to 37 years for murder, along with 20 years for great bodily harm to be served concurrently. Larry was sentenced to 32 years for murder, with a concurrent 20-year sentence for great bodily harm. Neither are eligible for parole. Rita said she's currently in the appeals process.
Do I deserve to be in prison for the rest of my life? I don't think I do.
No matter what, Christina's tragic loss changed the family forever, and she is greatly missed.